Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dearest brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome to the New Muslim Academy and our series Islamic Morals, Manners and Etiquettes. We're still continuing with the etiquettes of eating and drinking, and in today's episode we want to talk about the etiquette of eating. Should we stand or should we sit? Now, there's many narrations that we find connected to this topic, some which are stern and teach us that the Prophet ﷺ forbade us from standing and drinking. And some of the companions were asked, what about eating? And they said, that's even worse. Meaning standing and eating is worse than standing and drinking. There's some narrations in which it states that the Prophet ﷺ walked whilst he ate and he stood whilst he drank. And this has created a huge discussion within Islamic scholarship about the ruling of eating and drinking whilst standing. Perhaps the middle way is to conclude, as many scholars have, that the default ruling is we should sit and drink and we should sit and eat unless we have a need. We have a need, okay? Like for example, there's no place to sit and drink, so you stand and drink. Or you have to get from a place to a place and it's not your norm. However, you're hungry, you have something to eat, you won't have time to eat it unless you eat it whilst you're on the way, then you can. So the default is sit and eat, sit and drink. But if you can't, then you can stand and eat and stand and drink. Now, even medically, there's benefits to eating and drinking in terms of how your body ingests or receives the food. Also, safety, so that food doesn't go into the wrong pipe. I know it can happen whilst we're sitting, but it's more likely if we're walking, if we're moving, right? It can go into your trachea, your breathing pipe, causes you to choke. May Allah save us. But also, medically speaking, scientifically speaking, they talk about how your tummy receives liquids and solids when you're standing versus when you're sitting, and generally it's easier on the organs to receive it whilst sitting. So there's medical benefits as well. So in a nutshell, the etiquette in Islam when eating and drinking is to sit and eat, to sit and drink, except if you have a need, a one-off, the circumstances where you can't sit, then in that circumstance you can stand and drink and stand and eat. I love you all for the sake of Allah, and I pray you have benefited from the episode. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.